When LeBron James announced he was taking his talents to South Beach, he didn't just change teams, he changed how the world saw him. Overnight, the hero became the villain. Jerseys were burned in Cleveland, hate flooded the airwaves, fans booed him in every arena, and for the first time in his life, LeBron wasn't just playing basketball, he was playing under a shadow. In Miami, everything was different. He wore number 6, not number 23. He was no longer a hometown savior. Now he was part of a super team LeBron, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh, 3 All-Stars, 1 mission. The media called them arrogant. Critics said it wouldn't work. But the Heat promised greatness, not 1, not 2, not 3 championships. The pressure was suffocating. Their first season was a wild ride. Every loss was magnified. Every win felt necessary. They fought their way through the playoffs, finally reaching the 2011 NBA Finals. The basketball world watched expecting dominance, but instead they saw collapse. Against Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks, LeBron faded. He averaged just 17.8 points, a shadow of the player everyone expected. In the fourth quarters, he vanished. Social media exploded. Analysts tore him apart. Some called it the biggest meltdown in finals history. For the first time, LeBron looked lost. He had left Cleveland to chase greatness, but now the world wondered if he had what it took. The weight of expectation had crushed him. But deep down, something else was happening. LeBron wasn't running from the criticism. He was absorbing it, quietly, patiently. And behind that silence, a storm was building. He knew he couldn't stay the same. Not if he wanted to win, not if he wanted to become who he was meant to be. What the world saw as failure, LeBron would turn into fuel. After the crushing loss in the 2011 Finals, LeBron James vanished not from the league, but from the spotlight. That summer, there were no flashy endorsements, no press tours, just silence. And behind that silence, obsession. LeBron went back to work relentlessly. He trained in Houston with Hakeem Olajuwon, mastering the footwork and finesse of post play. He watched film for hours, dissecting not just his own mistakes, but the movements of legends. He wasn't trying to return as the same player. He was engineering a new version of himself, tougher, smarter, more complete. And when the 2011-2012 season began, the difference was immediate. He moved with purpose. His decisions were faster. His leadership was sharper. He stopped chasing approval and started chasing the game itself. That season, LeBron won his 3rd MVP award. He averaged 27.1 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 6.2 assists per game. But beyond the numbers, there was something deeper: control. He dictated every possession, every tempo. His game was now surgical. In the playoffs, the pressure returned, especially in the Eastern Conference Finals, against the veteran Boston Celtics. Down 3-2 in the series on the brink of elimination, LeBron walked into Game 6 in Boston Garden and delivered one of the greatest performances in NBA history. 45 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. No celebration, no trash talk, just cold, focused fury. That night, he didn't just silence the crowd, he silenced doubt. The Heat came back to win the series, and in the NBA Finals, they faced a young and dangerous Oklahoma City Thunder team led by Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. But LeBron was ready. He dominated the series, averaging 28.6 points per game. In Game 5, as the final seconds ticked down, LeBron smiled not arrogantly but with relief. He had done it. NBA champion. At last. Fresh off his first championship, LeBron James entered the 2012-2013 season with something he had never fully embraced before: freedom. The weight was gone. The hate still echoed, but it no longer mattered. He had proven he could win, and now he would dominate. The Miami Heat stormed through the regular season, going on an incredible 27-game win streak, the second longest in NBA history. It was more than winning. It was art. The ball moved with precision. Every pass, every cut, every defensive switch was like poetry in motion. And at the center of it all, LeBron. He averaged 26.8 points, 8.0 rebounds, and 7.3 assists with career-high efficiency. He shot 56.5% from the field, unheard of for a wing player. For the 4th time in 5 years, he was named NBA Most Valuable Player. But this time, there were no debates. He was the undisputed best player in the world. The Heat returned to the NBA Finals facing a familiar foe, the San Antonio Spurs. Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Greg Popovich. A dynasty in their own right. It was a matchup of brilliance versus brilliance. The series was a war. Blowouts turned into buzzer beaters. Momentum swung wildly. And in Game 6, with the Heat down 3-2 in the series, it looked like it was over. Until Ray Allen hit one of the most iconic shots in NBA history, a game-tying three from the corner with 5.2 seconds left. That shot gave Miami life. In Game 7, LeBron sealed the deal. He dropped 37 points, hit clutch jumpers, and grabbed the defensive rebound that ended the Spurs' hopes. Back-to-back championships, back-to-back finals MVPs, and perhaps most importantly, peace. LeBron had reached the mountaintop not once but twice. He was no longer chasing shadows. He had become a legend in real time. But dynasties don't last forever, and the storm was quietly gathering once again. In 2014, the Miami Heat entered the NBA Finals for the fourth straight year. They were seasoned, battle-tested, confident. But this time, something felt off. Across the court stood the San Antonio Spurs, older, wiser, and fueled by revenge. The previous year's Game 6 heartbreak had haunted them, and now they were back with surgical precision. From the opening tip, it was clear Miami wasn't the same team. Dwyane Wade's knees were failing. Chris Bosh struggled for consistency. The bench lacked depth. The ball didn't move with the same rhythm. The energy was drained. But LeBron, he fought. He averaged 28.2 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 4 assists in the series. He did everything he could, but it wasn't enough. The Spurs played with brilliance team basketball at its finest. Sharp cuts, perfect passes, relentless defense. They weren't just beating the Heat, they were picking them apart. The series ended in just 5 games. And just like that, the dynasty was over. In the locker room, LeBron sat quietly, towel over his head. He had come to Miami to chase greatness, and he had found it 2 rings, 4 finals, and a version of himself he had always dreamed of becoming. But now something tugged at him. He had nothing left to prove in Miami. He had grown one, failed, and risen again. But back in Ohio, something still felt unfinished. A promise, a wound, a city still healing from the night he left. LeBron began to reflect not as a player, but as a man. He thought about Akron, about the kids who wore his jersey, about the place that had given him everything even when it had nothing to give. And so, as the championship confetti fell for someone else, LeBron made a decision, not yet public, not yet written, but deep in his heart. It was time to go home. July 11, 2014. No press conference, no ESPN special. Just a quiet article published through Sports Illustrated that shook the world. The title read simply, "I'm coming home." It was signed LeBron James. After 4 years, 4 finals, and 2 championships in Miami, LeBron chose something bigger than trophies. He chose redemption. He chose legacy. He chose Cleveland. The letter wasn't boastful. It was humble, thoughtful, emotional. He spoke of Akron, of his roots, of the lessons he had learned in Miami, not just about basketball, but about leadership, maturity, responsibility. He thanked the Heat organization. He praised Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, Dwyane Wade. But he made it clear, my relationship with Northeast Ohio is bigger than basketball. For Cleveland fans still scarred from the decision, this was healing. It wasn't about a championship anymore. It was about coming full circle. But LeBron wasn't returning as a boy full of promise. He was coming back as a man of purpose, a champion, a father, a leader who now understood the weight of being more than an athlete. He knew it wouldn't be easy. He didn't promise a title. He promised to work, to lead, to fight. The league was stunned. The media scrambled. Jerseys began flying off shelves. Murals went back up. Forgiveness turned into celebration. The prodigal son hadn't just returned, he had evolved. LeBron's letter closed with a single powerful line. In Northeast Ohio, nothing is given. Everything is earned. You work for what you have. With that, the king returned to his throne. But this time it wasn't about revenge or critics. It was about finishing what he started. It was about keeping a promise. And in the next chapter of his story, He would attempt the impossible to bring a championship to Cleveland.